yesterday. What's the diary on today, October the 23rd?
Today's slightly different day. I was in Downing Street this morning for meetings. Some MPs were seeing the Prime Minister, and I would join him normally for meetings with members of Parliament. I'm talking to you now. Unfortunately, I have to leave early today. I have a constituent's funeral that I'm going to later today, so I have to leave after I've done some more paperwork today, and I'll be back in the constituency later this afternoon and evening. So a busy day, but quite a sad day for me today as well. And
the job you have now over the next couple of years, how do you perceive that job to develop?
In a sense, just taken along by events in a job like this. So I hope to stay in the job I've got working with the Prime Minister. It is the most remarkable job to have. I feel incredibly fortunate to have the opportunity to do it. The other thing I can do, it's a bit cheeky really, but I can tell the Prime Minister what my constituents say to me. And he must get sick and tired of hearing about Basildon and Thurrock sometimes, because it is always, well, I was told this at the weekend, they said this at such and such. I've had St Joe's School in today, I talked to the kids. But I think it's important that whatever level of government people are at, they're hearing that information come through, and I want my constituents' voice to be heard. So it's a good opportunity for me to do that. So how it develops, I get more experience in the work that I'm doing, and I hope to use that experience to be of benefit to the Prime Minister.
And going back to your constituency, are there any particular key issues that are occurring time and time again at the moment?
Oh, always. The big one is always housing. And on both sides. I have a queue at my surgery, I have heartbreaking letters from people who need homes, and particularly in the Thurrock Park constituency where there aren't so many homes, so people, they've grown up, they're leaving home, they've got a family of their own, they want to stay near their own family, they've got work locally, but there's nowhere to live locally. And they don't want to go study on other places that's suggested, they want to stay near their friends and family. So that is a heartbreaking one. But of course, when homes are suggested to be built, finding somewhere suitable, where local people want them to be built, is very difficult. So that is a recurring theme across so much of my work in constituency.
And what do you say to people?
You have to be honest with people, you have to be so honest with people. My view is we need to build homes, we have to build homes for people, but that doesn't mean we can build them anywhere and everywhere. So finding the right place is incredibly difficult, and that has to be a community decision. But at the end of the day, it's the same people who are saying yes or no to those homes who need to live in them. And I also have issues about building the right kind of homes that people need. We see lots and lots of flats going up, but not everybody wants to live in flats or apartments. And they're not always suitable for people with young children either. So, I do what I can to help, I give advice, and I try and put it in the wider context that coming to me and me writing to the council isn't going to get them a home if there's nothing built for them. So I think that's one of the saddest and most difficult areas of work I have locally.
And we mentioned your constituency, of course you're in a marginal. Do you always have one eye on that?
I don't think it's changed the way I've behaved in any way at all, to be honest. Yes, the thought that the next election I could be out isn't one that sort of pleases me. I enjoy the work I do, I've put a lot into it, and from day one, when I had a huge majority, because in 1997 there's this huge sweep towards the Labour Party, it's a massive majority, I worked just as hard then as I do now in a seat that's very marginal, because the boundaries have changed so much. So I don't think it changes the way I work at all. If anything, if I haven't got much time left, and I don't know, it'd be up to the electorate, but if I haven't, I want to do as much as I can in that time. There's so much I want to do, I'm not finished yet. And I'm enthusiastic about being the Member of Parliament for my home constituency. How many MPs have that opportunity? So I just do as much as I can. I would hope to stay on. I will fight the campaign to be the MP in the future, but I will do as much as I can.
And going back to your diary, on Saturday you're up in Corringham regarding bananas and volunteering.
Oh, that's well. I'm doing. First of all, I'm at St Margaret's Church. It's the Mothers' Union Autumn Fair. I'm going to that and opening that, and then I'm nipping up to the Bernardo shop.
And how important, regarding bananas and volunteering, how important do you think volunteering is?
Oh, it's crucial. If you look around the constituency, there are so many organisations that wouldn't survive without volunteers. There was a report done when I was first elected, and I was really cross about it. One impressive London-based think tank that said that people in this constituency don't volunteer because they don't necessarily sign up on a dotted line and join an organisation. What they do, they go along, they might do a couple of hours in the shop, they go and help their friends, their neighbours. We survive on people volunteering. And I was at Bernardo's last year, did the same thing last year with them, and it was good fun actually. Nice people.
And finally, you went back to 1997. What do you think the difference is between the 1997 Angela Smith and the 2008 Angela Smith?
More wrinkles, fewer grey hairs. I think I'm a bit more confident than I was in 1997. I'm a bit more assertive, not necessarily for myself. I'm dreadful. If I've got a complaint to make for myself, I don't make it, but on behalf of constituents. And I think the experience I've got over that time, if something needs to be done, I don't give in easily. I've become a first-class nag for different authorities, but on behalf of people in the constituency. So, and I think the experience you gain really does help you. You get an issue or somebody comes to you with something, you can get to the crux of it much more quickly because you may have dealt with something similar or hadn't experienced that before. So I'm a bit more confident, I'm a bit chubbier, and I've got a few more wrinkles and